me and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thank you so much. It's such an honor and privilege to be here with you today, and I humbly accept this award from the Illinois Academy of Criminology. And I have to say, I'm just so honored to be here to also honor Judge Layton. Here we are in the 50th anniversary of Freedom Summer and the 50th anniversary of the passage of the Civil Rights Act. And it's such a great honor to be here to honor him and all the work he did on behalf of civil rights. And it was just such a beautiful presentation, Jeff, so thank you. When Mary called me to tell me the news that I was to receive this award, I will be honest, my first reaction was that I did not want it, and I personally do not believe I'm worthy of this award. But if anyone knows, when Mary Powers asks you to do something, you cannot say no. And the fact is, I didn't want to say no because, Mary, you are such a shero of justice, and you've been a stalwart organizer in the campaign for justice in the Burge police torture cases and in combating police misconduct citywide. It's just such a true honor to be personally receiving this award from you today. It means the world to me, and I continue with others to try to walk in the trail that Mary has blazed for us. So thank you. It was thrilling to present the Chicago police torture cases to the UN Committee Against Torture in 2006, and particularly for one of the highest human rights bodies in the entire world to not only recognize the torture that occurred here in the city, but to hear our pleas for justice. Specifically, after reviewing the evidence that we presented, the UN committee not only noted the limited investigation and lack of prosecution in the Burge police torture cases, but it called on the US government to bring the perpetrators to justice. I personally believe that this finding by the UN Committee Against Torture contributed to the US Attorney's Office here, in conjunction with the US Department of Justice, to indicting John Burge for the perjury and obstruction of justice he committed when he lied about the torture he and others committed at Area 2 and 3 police headquarters. And later, this led to his conviction of all 3 counts in 2010. I do think it was a profound moment in the struggle for justice in these cases, and I think that work still continues in fighting for evidentiary hearings for the men, the Burge torture victims who still remain behind bars, and in trying to seek reparations for the Chicago police torture survivors, most of whom have gotten no financial compensation, and many who still need psychological counseling for the torture they endured. But in accepting this honor today, I don't want to stand here and pretend that I did this alone, because I did not. It was Standish Willis, a renowned criminal defense and civil rights attorney, who first had the idea of bringing the Chicago police torture cases to international fora, wanting the world to understand that there was, unfortunately, racist torture that occurred here on domestic soil. And it was then Flint Taylor who personally asked me to work with him 17 years ago on the Chicago police torture cases, who thankfully I've gotten to work with for the last 17 years. None of us would be here today if it wasn't for Flint, who has doggedly worked on these cases for the last 25 years, longer than any other attorney I know. And finally, I see Locke Bowman in the audience, who's been who I've also had the opportunity to partner with and work with for several years now, and who championed the cause for getting a special prosecutor back in 2001 to investigate these cases. It's also important to me to recognize Judge Beeble, who's with us today, who righteously and courageously appointed a special prosecutor to investigate the Burge torture cases in 2001, and who recently appointed a special master to determine whether there are Burge torture victims who remain behind bars, and to appoint them attorneys in order for them to have a full and fair opportunity to present their allegations of torture. I also want to recognize my partner in crime and love, and that's Andrea Ritchie, who unfortunately could not be with us today, but she was present with me in Geneva, Switzerland, and helped me present the Chicago police torture cases to the UN Committee Against Torture. And finally, I want to acknowledge all the love and support from my family and friends who I don't think any of us could do what we do and continue to struggle on and on if it wasn't for those family and friends. My sister, Alyssa, my twin, who's here with us, who's a fierce and ferocious family attorney, much more zealous than I can ever dream to be, who is the femme to my butch and the hetero to my mama. And in case you did not know, to my uncle, yes, we are related, who I love and adore, and who is, I so appreciate his pride and his support of me. I could not be here without him. And finally, to my family at the People's Law Office and to my loves from Court to the Left, I don't want to say anything more, but thank you so very much.